dealing with clients is probably have to blur this. I don't know.
That's Vasco. He's a SaaS founder and one of the most recognizable figures in the SEO industry. He founded Journalist AI, which is an AI content creation tool, and we talk about his entire journey from SEO Freelancer to ranking rents all the way up to his SaaS entrepreneurship.
Didn't make any money, then started doing it with electricians, then realized why would I be doing this with an electrician when I can do it with like a plastic surgeon, which is per lead the price is much higher.
Today you're going to learn what it's really like to pivot from SEO services all the way to building a SaaS product. You're going to discover how to leverage SEO skills to build a profitable SaaS.
Leverage competitors' brand names. Let's say our competitor is called, I don't know, Bottle, right? We do pages for bottle alternative, right? Or cheaper alternative to bottles.
Why niche edits are one of the most effective link building tactics.
Throughout all the links, I think niche edits have been the most effective for us. Because you're posting a link on an already indexed post, aged with authority.
Effective marketing strategies for building a bootstrapped SaaS.
One thing that made us grow a lot was YouTube SEO. I think oftentimes people think that SEO is just Google, but YouTube has been like one of the biggest growth drivers for us.
Why building an AI-powered tool can be risky and rewarding.
We try to automate the writing, the publishing, the indexing, the social syndication, the updating of the old content, because we work with a lot of agencies, and so we ask them, what part of your work can we automate?
My name's James Oliver, and you're listening to the Oliver.com podcast. I feel like more SEO experts are venturing into SaaS, so this episode is going to be a killer. Enjoy.
Cool. Welcome to the first episode. So I have no idea what this podcast is going to be called yet, so this is going to be figured out later. Probably the Oliver podcast, but this is Vasco. So I am going to introduce you, let you introduce yourself and basically tell me how you got started. Like, you mainly do SEO, but what kind of got you in the industry and in the online space?
Yeah, so I'm Vasco. I'm from Portugal, 26. And I guess to answer your first question, how I got into it, I guess you know Alex Becker, right?
Yeah.
I was browsing YouTube in 2016, and I saw this like crazy dude, because Alex Becker was this guy that did like this weird SEO stuff. And I found him, and he was making money with rank and rent. So he ranked sites for local businesses and made money. And I was like, I want to make some money. And so I tried to do that. I did it with a dentist, didn't make any money. Then started doing it with electricians. Then realized why would I be doing this with an electrician when I can do it with like a plastic surgeon, which is per lead the price is much higher. And I did plastic surgeons, dentists, lawyers, and that's basically how I got started into the SEO space. Was doing like client work, like rank and rent stuff for clients back in Portugal, which by the way was super easy because I've done SEO for like English markets. It's so hard. In Portugal, it's so easy. Like PBN links work like a charm, like it's super simple.
Well, that's it. In the foreign markets, many people don't really realize this, but the algorithm is different to like UK and US. So a lot of the stuff what used to work back in the day works really well still there.
It's super easy. It's crazy, and also there's no competition.
Yeah.
Or very little competition. Yeah.
I've not heard of even one person doing rank and rent in Portugal apart from you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, decent. Yeah, we just had Dooley on the Conversion Collective, and he was talking about the whole thing was about ranking rents, like something I'd never done, but it's obviously really interesting.
Yeah, it's super nice because you own like the assets. So if you just wanna, if a client like stops working with you, you can just rent the site out to someone else or rent the leads. What I used to do was I had because you can overlay the client's site on top of yours. But what I used to do is I had a phone number that redirected to their phone number, and I recorded all the calls and all that, and so that's what I used to do. Fun fact, the reason why I then moved from SEO to a more like a consulting approach with clients was because I was sending leads to the guys that I was listening to the calls, and they didn't know how to convert people, right? They didn't know how to talk with them, to convince them to come in, right? And so it was super painful. So I then started to do consulting, email marketing for all the clients. So it turned from SEO to like a whole holistic approach to market.
I think that makes sense because a lot of business owners don't have a clue how to market and get on the call. So that's what Dooley was saying a lot of the times as well. They can't convert, so you need to find the right person, which is hard. Especially
if you're getting paid by the call, by leads. You want to make sure they convert the lead as much as possible. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So how did you progress from that? Because I know obviously you're smashing YouTube. You had your own marketplace. Like, what businesses did you build after this?
Yeah, I guess I tried a bunch of everything. I did drop shipping. I did a lot of stuff. But the way I moved from client SEO to now software, it started because like dealing with clients is we have to blur this, I don't know. And so I wanted to go on like marketplaces like Upwork, Fiverr, and all those to just productize my services into like little packages business owners or agencies could buy. Because it's so much simpler. Like I just have the package they buy and just fulfill the service. No like back and forth with the client. and the expectations of like a $100 productized service are much less than like a monthly retainer of 2,000 euros. And so I did that for a while, Upwork, Fiverr, all those. And then I thought, how do I get more traffic into these platforms? I didn't want to be dependent just on the traffic of the platform. So I started doing YouTube and like saying, hey guys, I'm doing this to rank my sites, doing that. If you want me to help you out, here's my link to my services. I did that a lot. Like I shared every single thing I knew. I have a 5-hour SEO course on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
And I think sharing this stuff and people seeing you know how to do this stuff like helped me drive traffic to those platforms to make money with freelance SEO stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. I was going to touch on that later on, but yeah, I've seen a lot of you do give so much value away, like so many free courses. You got like the local SEO one and mainly SEO, and there's quite a few different ones. Yeah. So I'm guessing they're good like generators of leads, and obviously you help people out so they come back to you in the future.
It's crazy, right? The local SEO one has a bunch of views, and like every single day gets like 100, 200 views, maybe a bit less. And those are like potential, now I don't do client SEO anymore, I don't sell services, but those are like potential like lead drivers. It's amazing.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I like how you said like productized service as well, because that's what Fat Joe always preaches with his agency, and it's less headaches, isn't it?
Less headaches, yeah. And most of your clients, at least mine, were agencies, so they knew what they were buying. They didn't complain much. It was super like a transactional service. You buy, I'm gone, right? Super nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So back onto SEO then. Well, actually, should we talk about your AI writer?
Maybe before that, how I got to it, right? How I built that. I sold a bunch of these services, like these productized services on Upwork and Fiverr. And I thought, I realized there was a bunch of stuff that I didn't like on these marketplaces, like mainly transparency. Like you never knew who you were buying services from or exactly what you were buying. Like all these people like hid behind like logos or fake images. A lot of them use like girl images to get more clicks.
I've seen that.
It's crazy. And you never knew exactly what you were buying. For example, when you were buying links, I wanted to know which links I was buying. And I always had to message them. So my idea was to build this marketplace where transparency was the biggest thing. So if you wanted to post a service on there, you had to show your face, you had to record a video, you had to like in the like service description have deliverables, have like samples. And so that's how Vetted started, VETTTED. I was like this curated marketplace for SEO services. I've since sold it because it's very hard to build a marketplace, but it was a good journey. Yeah. And then I now build Journalist AI, which is I guess more than just an AI writer, because we try to automate like the whole thing. We try to automate the writing, the publishing, the indexing, the social syndication, the updating of the old content, because we work with a lot of agencies, and so we ask them, what part of your work can we automate? And we do the whole thing, right? From publishing to,
Well, I suppose you'll know as well, we're working with so many different agencies and clients in the past, you'll know kind of what they want, and then speaking to them, makes it easy.
Yeah. I think the track record of being in the SEO industry for such a long time helped me build this, for sure. Yeah.
The thing is as well, so I use AI writers now. I used to have agencies do all my content and do everything, but with AI writers, it's just, people are going to use them anyway. So if you're hiring other people, they're going to use an AI writer to do that. So you might as well cut out the middleman and do it yourself, and then like hire an editor if you do need to change anything.
Exactly, yeah. I think the best thing about AI, like the technology itself, not just in SEO, is that anyone can do everything just by using AI. Like you can do so much more. It's amazing, yeah.
Well, it's one of those that just speeds up the workflow massively. Even with my VAs, like a lot of them couldn't do a lot of the work, but now with AI, it's just give them a few prompts and now they can do everything. Like,
right, it's amazing. In my YouTube videos, I give this analogy a lot of times. I build like a stair, and I say previously you had to do the keyword research manually, then write the article, then go out and source the images to add to the article, videos, then do the internal links, do the external links, then publish it, then submit it for indexing, then ideally share it on social media, right? And now AI does everything like that. It's so good, saves so much time. It's amazing, yeah.
So do you do much SEO then? I'm guessing you're doing it for obviously your own tools but do you build like your own websites or?
My main focus is just doing SEO for the business, which is interesting. It's a SaaS, and SaaS SEO is very different than, for example, client SEO. I guess I'll give you a couple of examples. We try to leverage competitors' brand names. So let's say our competitor is called, I don't know, Bottle, right? We do pages for Bottle Alternative, right? Or cheaper alternative to Bottle. So we leverage the competitor's name to have like pages dedicated to ranking for their own brand names. And we actually rank above some of our competitors with those pages. So that's one of the strategies we implement in the SaaS SEO space. Yeah,
that's nice. SaaS is interesting. It's not, so it's like with a lot of SEO people, I think if I ever went into like the service work, it would be e-com or SaaS. And I did a post about SaaS SEO keywords, because obviously it's kind of similar to affiliate. So the review alternative versus, which is very popular, piggybacking off the, like you say, big brand's name, and then just normal like best roundups. But I see a lot doing like how to cancel Zapier, for example.
Oh, that's nice.
And then they're trying to target that because they've got a pain point with that SaaS, and they kind of want to cancel to someone else. And then with help desk questions as well, like how to, like basically answering help desk questions for a competitor's SaaS to bring them onto you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really like it, yeah. One thing that made us grow a lot was YouTube SEO. I think oftentimes people think that SEO is just Google, but YouTube has been like one of the biggest growth drivers for us. Even with Vetted, like my idea to grow Vetted with SEO was, okay, I have all these providers doing all these services. How do I get more traffic in? So my thinking was, okay, let me just create a YouTube video for every single one of these services going over how to do this. For example, there was this guy that did Wikipedia pages. And I made a video saying, recording on like a tutorial on how to make a Wikipedia page. And I went over step by step how to make a Wikipedia page, like half an hour. And at the end, I had a call to action saying, listen, you can do it all this yourself, or you can just hire this guy off of Vetted, right? And this video till this day gets 300 views per day. So the guy's making a ton of money because of that. I guess the moral of the story here is that SEO can be applied to YouTube. And our strategy there was, again, create videos for every single one of those services to then drive traffic to the platform. I have a video on YouTube which details this a bit more in detail, but YouTube SEO is amazing. And with Journalist AI, we're growing it through YouTube SEO as well. Because it's so much better because people see your face, right? They connect with you, and at the end of the day, people buy from people. So
converts a lot better doing it.
A lot better. Yeah.
I actually saw your videos before, and that Wikipedia page and one of the knowledge graph panels, they're like the biggest like videos on your channel, which is it's crazy. Like a lot of people searching for it. I didn't realize at the end you was doing it, and then you can go buy the service here. It's very smart to grow it.
And they're like evergreen videos because they're gonna get views forever. Or at least when people stop searching for it, right? But everyone is still searching for how to make a Wikipedia page, how to make a knowledge graph. And until that day, because we rank first, we get all the traffic.
That's nice. Yeah, I feel, well, me personally, I'm going a lot more into YouTube. So obviously we got this podcast but for my affiliate sites, I'm doing the same thing. So like sending the products to people, doing the YouTube video, and then asking them to do extra B-roll, and then sending that to an editor, and then getting them to make extra videos from that one main video.
Okay.
And then just publishing like 10 of the same review on that, but all edited differently. So that way you just take over the whole thing.
What we're doing as well is that similar to that, but we translate it to different languages. So the same video, we use AI to translate it to Portuguese, Spanish, Greek, whatever.
Nice.
And we upload it to different channels. So we rank not only in English, but we rank in like the Portuguese YouTube, the Spanish YouTube.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
So someone told me a little while ago that Spanish SEO is like huge compared to English SEO. Have you found that get most views with that, or not really?
Honestly, I don't know if it's bigger, but we have a case study of this guy actually using Journalist AI. That he had this Spanish site that he made money with affiliates by. He ranked for a bunch of keywords like buy tickets for this event. So Taylor Swift tickets, Drake concert tickets, just in Spanish. And he's making $15,000 a month just off of that site. And he ranks for a bunch of keywords, but I think he targets both the Spanish market as well as the South American market. Because both of them speak Spanish. So I guess that's my only touch point on that. He makes a lot of money with it. So it's big enough, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice. It's interesting. And that's another thing with AI. You can just convert it straight away to different languages and do it all.
Yeah. I think though, it does help that you speak the language a bit. Because the cultural is different. For example, I'll give you an example. With our YouTube SEO for the Portuguese market, even though we translate the videos, the way in which you make the thumbnails, the titles, like the way you convey your message is a little bit different than for the English market, I think. Because the Portuguese people are a bit more slow, not in terms of brain, but they take a while more to trust you, right? A bit more skeptic maybe. Yeah. So I think you have to take that into account.
You've got all the sun and everyone's relaxing and surfing all day.
Basically,
It's island life like Bali. So how do you actually manage like building your AI and running your companies and selling everything? Because I know we spoke before, you travel every year around to Asia. And so where's home base? Like, what's the plans for the future? What are your plans?
Yeah, I guess the first question, how do I manage it? I think if you're building like a software business, it's important that if you don't code, you should find a co-founder that codes. So in this new software, I work together like with another guy, and he helps me out a lot, right? Because software is very hard. Building a proper software is difficult. So I think having a co-founder does help. And then, we just work very hard. I'm working all the time, just like you, right? There's no weekends. We work Monday to Monday, right? But yeah, that's basically it. In terms of, I live in Portugal at the moment, but I like to travel a lot because I think super cliche, but we're young and life is quite short. So I guess when you can, we don't have kids, don't have responsibilities while you're healthy, travel a lot. So I guess
the exact same mindset I have. It makes, especially when you're working online and you're making money online. It's like, why wouldn't you?
Why would you be stuck in a country, right? And if you have some money, just book it. I mean, even with less money, you can book a ticket to Asia and go to Bangkok or whatever and live like for $100 a night, $200 a night.
It'd be a lot cheaper than living in like Portugal, UK, or anywhere. So it's like it does make perfect
100%,
sense.
Yeah.
I feel like you meet a lot more people in the digital nomad space and on the online space, and everyone gets out like. So where did you meet your co-founder? Was that like traveling or back home?
So I was building the idea of the because I met him. He built Vetted with me, the marketplace.
Okay.
And when I was coming up with the idea, I was building it in public. I was like documenting the process of coming up with the idea, whatever. And while I was doing that, it came the time. Okay, I need to find someone that knows how to code. So I was posting on LinkedIn. I was speaking with friends, and he was a friend of a friend of a friend, which I spoke with a couple of VCs. And one of the most, I think, important idea they passed on for me was if you're going to hire someone and partner with someone, make sure it's either a friend or a friend of a friend. Because it's very different than just hiring or partnering up with someone you don't know.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he was a friend of a friend, basically. Yeah.
That's interesting. Because every time I've heard that, I've always heard, don't go with a friend because you always fall out. But
I guess, I mean, he wasn't really a friend, he was a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said going with a friend. Yeah, I guess maybe we're just a friend of a friend.
Yeah, you still have that connection and you know.
But now we're friends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's decent.
Yeah.
So with YouTube, because obviously your main strategy is YouTube, and like I always see your videos, they're always really high quality. But how do you come up with like the case studies and the breakdowns? Do you like what's your strategy? Do you like try and target the big brand names like Starbucks, etc., and then that brings like the views because it's a piggyback of a big name sort of thing?
It's hard, bro. It's really hard, YouTube, because it is a creative like outlet. And you said the videos are high quality. I don't really think so. I think I go for volume over quality, honestly. Maybe I should dial down the quantity, make more quality ones. But how do I come up with ideas? I mean, I'm chronically online, so I'm always like aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
So whether that's new updates, new people I follow posting new videos. So yeah, I don't think ideas is a problem. I think recording a quality video that gives value to people is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Right? Making it count for people. Yeah.
That's it. Well, I think you've got the value down, like you say, the long videos teaching people how to do X, and then you end in the CTA kind of thing at the end. That's what I've really enjoyed, like with the. Is it a mind map software or the actual drawing software of doing
Miro, yeah. I like that, because I can draw my thoughts and I can, instead of just me talking to the camera, I can like show what I'm thinking about with diagrams and stuff. But YouTube can be difficult at times. For example, I have a lot of videos, and some of them I spend like hours coming up with the idea and like recording like half-an-hour videos, right? And they don't perform, which sucks. So what I've been doing now is those videos that I think are super like valuable, I promote them as ads, like in-feed ads. They look organic, not like when you go on the homepage of YouTube, like they show up there, like they look organic.
Yeah.
So my thinking is because YouTube pushes them a bit and then stops pushing them. And while YouTube was pushing them, they were getting subs, people were signing up. And my thinking was, okay, if while YouTube pushes these, they're getting views and subscribers and sales, why don't I just pay YouTube to push them more? So I guess the latest strategy for YouTube right now is pushing these videos that YouTube stopped pushing that I think are valuable to more people.
Have you tested this? Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, we're like 2 weeks into it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did it for my channel, but I think I've ruined it a little bit because I did it for subs basically rather than pushing the video. But I did it through YouTube, so I thought it'd be fine. But it's not really been perfect. It's not really destroyed the channel, but it's not really turned into viewers of the channel.
Yeah, I do it via Google Ads, and I do 2 campaigns. One, I just show the ads to people who've seen any of my videos before, so they're more or less warm.
Yeah.
And then I just put the ads on like other SEO guys, like Matt Diggity and all those big boys.
Yeah, nice. People who know, so it's relevant. Right, so we just had to turn on the lights because it's getting dark now. This is what happens when you're shooting public on the cuff. Cool, so we'll jump on to a few other questions, like SEO questions. So what would you recommend someone starting out in SEO for maybe a few different takes, like client side or building their own site or trying to sell the services? How would you start and help people out?
That's a good question. I guess I can give you like what I did because it was what worked for me, which is build your own site and try to rank it. I think that's the best thing, right? Watch a couple of videos, but then just go out and literally just go test stuff fast. Buy backlinks, build content, and try really hard to rank the site because then you'll know what works and what doesn't. Because that's what I did, and it worked so well. I killed a lot of sites, but I also succeeded with some. And to get clients is just getting on the phone, honestly, just calling up businesses. I think maybe that was a better strategy like a couple of years ago. Nowadays, I think I think it's important to have a personal brand, like showing your face, show you know how to do what you say you know how to do, right? Because, for example, I think if you're using cold email to get clients, like eventually people will like take your URL and paste it on Google and see if you exist, right? If your thing exists. So I guess there's infinite ways to get clients, but I think the one thing you can do to make sure you get the most clients is have a personal brand. Like even if it's a bad one, like a small one, because if you're just starting out, it's going to be bad. But have a personal brand and just test things over and over again. Just make sure not to test it on client sites because it's a bit dangerous.
But that's it. There's always like, there's a little bit of rivalry and hate between like people who do SEO and work in agencies rather than people who like test and do everything themselves because of that whole situation. I think you do need, if you're an SEO or you're in that space, you do need to have your own site and you do need to be testing. And you want to, like you say, you want to break the site. You want to push it too far to see where it is. And then if you built too many links, disavow them and bring it back sort of thing and keep doing it.
Because at the end of the day, what we're doing with SEO is just trying to outsmart the algorithm, trying to like play with it and do things. Yeah. So yeah, for sure.
Have you looked much at the new algorithm leak? You've been diving into that much?
I read through it, but honestly, I think it was just a bit of confirmation bias. Like everything we all sort of knew, they always denied it, but we all sort of knew it already. It's just quality links, content. One thing I liked was they do give value to if you're writing like a blog post, who it was written by, right? Written by Jeff, whatever. Who is Jeff? They check the credentials, check if he has socials. For example, if you're writing like a medical article, like by Jeff, Google does check if Jeff is a medical expert in whatever X field. So I think that's pretty cool. It does combat a lot of the spam because there's only so many experts, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Even when I create a fake person to run the sites, I always make sure to create the socials and do everything because you need those profiles. The same with the business as well. You would need the profiles. Even like local SEO, you need all the citations like Yelp and everything. It just proves you're real, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I knew you sold a lot of PBN links and a lot of links in the past. So like, what's your on-page, off-page strategies, and then we'll jump more into off-page afterwards.
So on-page, I think I could give you a bunch of strategies, but the most important thing here is how like the page looks like for conversions. Because you can be like ranking first, but if your page isn't converting, it's pointless, right? A lot of local businesses have like on the homepage this contact form with the same color as the background, like you can barely see the phone number. And I think that's the single biggest important thing, right? Have a proper like visual, like your UI and UX needs to be good. And of course, I mean the basics, keywords in the page one, meta title, meta description, schema markup, add images with alt text. I think everyone knows this, like it's the basics of SEO. Yeah, it's basically my on-page strategy, honestly. It's quite simple.
That's it. Well, they're like the main factors, and that's where links comes in because that's the differentiator between that. Because everyone does that, or they should be doing that to rank.
I think links do play the difference, but also the brand, right? Like how strong is the brand on socials, right? Because Google does check that. How many followers you have? Do you have a Wikipedia page? Do you have like a TechCrunch profile, right? How strong of a brand are you as a whole?
Well, it pulls in a lot of followers into the SERPs now, doesn't it? So it show you how many like Twitter or LinkedIn followers, YouTube followers you got in the SERPs. So it's obviously important for them.
It is a trust factor, right? Because it's, these guys have like 1 million followers on Instagram, so they might be doing something right. Right? Yeah.
It makes sense. Plus, well, like you were saying, it's the branded searches as well, because you're having a brand. I think branded searches is one of the key aspects of it, because it proves that you're an authority for whatever keyword they're kind of looking for.
In Portugal, by the way, with Portuguese SEO, going back to it, I had a lot of sites that the site name was the exact match keyword, so the exact match domain, right? And it was super easy because while you were building like brand mentions, you were also targeting the main keyword. So
a lot of people hate on exact match domains, but I think that it still works.
Yeah, I love it.
Exact match domains are perfect. If you can find it, it's great.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful with the links because it's too on the
don't
nose.
over
isn't
optimize it.
Yeah.
Speaking of links, I guess my strategy is build more branded links than exact match and long tails. I build like, and of course the classic, right? One amazing link is better than 100 like medium ones. PR, I found that like from the past years it does play a big part in it because you can build like brand mentions. Then I do less PBN links nowadays because I try to be less risky. But I do a lot of guest posts, a lot of haro links, a lot of niche edits as well. I like niche edits. I think, honestly, throughout all the links, I think niche edits have been the most effective for us. Because you're posting a link on an already indexed post, aged with authority, but you have to be careful not to add your link to a post with like already a bunch of links in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically my SEO strategy in terms of anchors. Just have more branded ones than exact match ones. Have a couple of like generic ones like click here, learn more. And just make it look natural, honestly, because if it looks natural, yeah.
Well, that's it. Do you do any tier 2s to try and power up the guest posts or the niche edits?
Yeah, I do. Now I do it for YouTube, whereas I embed a bunch of YouTube videos on like these web 2s and all that. But I used to do tier 2s, not to power up PBNs necessarily, because PBNs, if it is a good PBN, it is already powerful by design.
Yeah.
But I use tier 2s to power up citations, excuse me, and some like profile backlinks and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
only in like hyper competitive niches, because I think it's like pointless if you're just in a regular competitive niche doing tier 2s. At least I haven't found it to be like effective. I find it more effective to build more like quality tier 1 links than build 2 tier links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're generally a little bit more spammy, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's one of those. It just helps with indexing and then gives it that little push, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say niche edits. I think niche edits for me are the most like powerful and popular tactic I do with link building. Plus they're usually the cheapest and the easiest to get as well. So you can manual outreach and get a niche edit a lot easier than guest posts and doing all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, with that I always just make sure to add like a new paragraph and do that, and then hopefully try and get to share it on social media to give that to say it's been like new,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
updated.
look as much as you just
fake.
put a link in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So we got cut off then. For some reason, the camera and everything stopped. So we can't really remember too much what we was talking about, but I think we covered everything. So,
I think so.
We'll just do with the outro. Thank you for coming on. And where can people find you, Vasco?
Yeah, thank you. I guess on YouTube, Vasco Monteiros, and on Twitter, Vasco ABM. And I guess if you watch this far, you want to give it a go at Journalist AI, go to tryjournalist.com, click the little support bubble and ask the support guys for a coupon code. Tell them I sent you and they'll give you a coupon code. And yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for hosting me at your amazing villa.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Cool.
You got it. Looked natural, I think.
Yeah, that was good.